What is up, everybody? I am Luke from the Master Sword Valley, and welcome back to some more Doki Blue Skies. Now, of course, last time we started this game, and we got to having a interactive thing with Sayori. It's actually something that I didn't see when the mod pack wasn't installed and whatnot. This is all stuff that I just saw on YouTube. I didn't actually, of course, play the game myself. So, see, we're gonna show our poem. Let's go with Monica first. I should start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. What you can do, really. Hi, Alex. Hope you've been enjoying your time here. Yeah, definitely. I'll probably sound like a broken record by now, but everyone's been really welcoming. Well, a broken record isn't so bad when it plays something so nice. I guess so. Anyway, since you're new and everything, feel free to bring up any questions or concerns you might have. It's my duty as president to make sure that everything is perfect. Yep, it sure is. I'd have to say that you've been doing a good job of that already. I doubt that I'll ever have anything to complain about. Either way, I'm always open to new suggestions for the club as well, so don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Ugh. Okay, yeah. Again, I kind of just woke up a little bit ago, so sorry if my voice doesn't sound the best. Probably the best idea to consume soda with it. She says that, but it's going to be a bit intimidating to try to criticize Monica, of all people. I really don't think that there's going to be anything I need to speak up about either. Once one of the other girls would probably say something before I ever needed to. Natsuki definitely would. Now that that's out of the way, feel like sharing your poem with me? I mean, I don't really have a choice no matter, do I? You shouldn't be thinking like that. Yeah, I was just joking. Kinda. It's alright, Alex. I get that it's probably really awkward for you to share creative work when you're just a beginner, especially since the rest of us have a bit more experience than you do. Wow, sick burn. That's an understatement. Don't worry though, we're all a little embarrassed too today, you know. I don't think many people out there share their poetry on a regular basis. Probably not, though. But it's the sort of thing that you get used to pretty quickly once you get over with. Yeah, that's true. I hand my poem over with a sigh. Don't grade me too harshly. You'll be fine. I watch nervously. She quickly scans my poem. Interesting poem, Alex. It has a very mellow yet emotional feel to it. I didn't know that you were this in tune with your feelings, Alex. Why can I not read? I can feel my cheeks growing hot at her teasing. You think? Yeah, no need to feel so embarrassed about this. Poetry is a very professional thing, so it's not surprising to see you putting your raw emotions down on paper. Actually, your poem reminds me of something Sayori would write. Really? How so? I mean, you and Sayori are really good friends, right? It shouldn't be too far-fetched for you to write similarly. Oh, whoops. That was similarly, right? Yeah, similarly. Oh, I missed that. Well, I guess you could say that we used to be good friends, at least. We kind of drifted apart over the years, so I guess it surprises me that we could still have things like this in common. This club is the perfect opportunity to become closer to her then, don't you think? I guess so. Anyway, much like yours, Sayori's writing tends to be has a gentle feel to it. She often uses her words to quietly meander through her imagination and to explore different emotions. Most of the time, I find that she addresses happiness and sadness in equal amounts, creating a bittersweet tone. Wow, that's kind of unexpected of her. Maybe she's changed more throughout the years than I thought. I know, right? Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy the pain of tragedy as well? What? You know, sometimes you sound like Yuri when you talk about poetry. Eh, really? Yeah, I guess you really like it, huh? You could say that. It'd really make me happy if you could get into poetry as well. No pressure, right? For real though, feel free to explore different things and experiment. You're kind of forcing me to do that. Maybe you'll find yourself in a way you'll never would have thought you would, just like Sayori does. Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up doing a lot of different things before I settle on my own style. And it'll still take a while before I completely comfortably share my writing. That's perfectly fine. In fact, I'd probably be more surprised if you immediately started writing with your own style. Most people don't go through the same process that you're going through right now. Trying new things is the best way to find the kind of style that suits you after all. Anyway, when you talk to everyone about it, naturally they'll be a bit biased towards their own kinds of styles. After all, I know I am. I can't stop burping. But don't force yourself to write in some way just because someone else wants you to. You should try to focus on what you want to do. Feel free to ask me for any help anytime, though. I'll try to be as objective as possible when I talk about about these topics. Oh, God! Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. I wish I could read myself. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Exactly. Well, that's because I had to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. Anyway, always as duty, on duty as club president. Ah! Well, let's get to reading then. The box. I see, but I don't believe. A lone fingerprint glistening on gleaming glass. Was it me? Was I always the one in the dark? I pound on the glass, my prison. Why? Why me? The pain jolts me back. The understanding pouring down like heavy rain. It's all a farce. My heart's on display. My life's but a script just playing anyway. The world out there seemed so bright. It was so free. So many choices. So much potential. Maybe I could have had a chance. I realize now that there was never a choice. I was stuck inside this box. And they, on the other side, chose for me. Okay, I honestly don't know how to feel about that. So, what do you think? I don't quite know how to say it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. I definitely get a certain kind of feeling from reading your poem, but I'm not sure how to put it into words. I can understand that. Just try to articulate it however you want. You can use metaphors outside the poetry, you know? Well, when you put it like that, I don't know, I'd say your poem is kind of abstract. Very vague, at least. Like, I can't quite tell what exactly you're talking about, but even so, I can feel what the speaker's feeling. Yeah, I think that describes my poem pretty well. Really? I do like metaphors. Well, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a poem without a metaphor, actually. Yeah, that's pretty well convinced for English class, at least. The ability to convey emotions and concepts through words describing things even the writer might never have experienced before. I find that really powerful. When you write metaphorically, it allows the reader to focus on the emotions in the poem. I guess it kind of opens up for the reader to have their own interpretations. Exactly! It's fascinating when people can diverge from the creator's original intent to find their own meaning in a work of art. Yeah. What was your original intent then? I think it'd be more fun if you tried to figure that out yourself. That just makes me more curious now. Maybe I'll tell you one day. But for now, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or anything for that matter, you get too fixated on a specific point. But if you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. So the best thing to do is just force yourself to get something down on the paper and then tidy it up later. Another way to think about it like this, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink, or you'll just get a blotch. So just move your hand and write whatever's in your heart. Easier said than done, from her at least. I get what she's trying to say though. It's better to look back on your work with fresh eyes after you've gotten something down sometimes. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Not like I had a choice but to listen. Okay. Let's just be Monica. I'm gonna say, let's go Sayori. Let's show my poem to Sayori. Wow, Alex! This is so good! Seriously, this is your first poem? Huh? It's not that good, jeez. Seriously, it is. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good poet. Sayori, you're overreacting a bit. It's really nothing special. Trust me, it is. How did you write it? What do you mean? Like, what did you think of while we wrote this? This is gonna sound a bit weird, but I thought of you. She gives a brief look of disbelief, a faint blush on her cheeks. Me? I mean, during the poem, you were the one jumping up and down. Yeah, hey, not in like a weird way or anything. I just thought of words that reminded me of you and went along with that. It just felt kind of natural doing it that way, I guess. Well, if it works, it works. Looks like this club really is the best place for you. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Sayori. Good to know that I'm not totally in over my head here. ... She looks at me for a moment, not saying anything. There's a few moments of odd silence. Earth to Sayori. She jumps slightly. Sorry. I'm just not used to seeing you around again, that's all. What? Wow! To have you in clubs writing poems. It's lovely, though. Jeez, Sayori. It just takes a little getting used to. Yeah, that's understandable. I'm a bit surprised myself, to be honest, but I'm enjoying it here so far. That's good to hear. Do you want to read my poem now? I'm not very good, though. Only one way to find out. Oh, this... Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy out of my eyes. Are you asking me to come out to play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue, it's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Gee, I wonder what time of day she wrote this. Well, what do you think? I hesitate as I answer. It's not that it was a bad poem. In fact, it was great. I just really inexperienced the poetry, especially feedback. It's really you. What's that supposed to mean? As in, the poem just reminds me of you. It made me feel really good inside. Really? Yeah, I had no idea what to expect, as this is my first time reading your poetry. But the way that was written, I don't know, it feels really wholesome and cheery. Like you are. I also really liked the last line. Trust you, all of people, to include breakfast in your poems. I was eating when I wrote. Sarah stopped speaking immediately as if she accidentally let something slip. Oh, so you wrote the poem this morning? No. Well, maybe. I forgot to write it last night. Sayori! Well, at least we know where your inspiration comes from. That's a broad statement. Well, I suppose it sounds silly, but it works, then it isn't silly. Either way, thanks for showing me your poem, Sayori. It was really good. I'm happy you think so. Anyways, next time I won't forget. Tomorrow's poem will be even better. I'll hold you to that. You better do that for me! I'm kidding. Save again, I guess. Actually, you know what? Nah, I won't. Let's go Natsuki next. She has a sour attitude toward me. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. Ouch! Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What I mean is that it's just kind of average. It doesn't really invoke any emotion, so kind of bland for your taste. Natsuki furrows her eyebrows at me. My taste? What's that supposed to mean, huh? Oh, crap. No, nothing. Well, anyways, I guess I'll show you my poem now. Not that you'll like it or anything. Gotta see. Sometimes. Some folks are winners, some only lose, some are go-getters, some only cruise. Sometimes we try hard and give it our all, sometimes we give up, what else can we do? I guess that's odd that's short. Told you you'd hate it. Actually, I like it. What? Don't just say it because I'm a girl. Be honest. What? No, it's not has nothing to do with you being a girl. I genuinely like the poem. Really? Yeah, it's simple, but it's still pretty effective. Finally, someone who gets it! People in high school think poetry as to be so formal and vague, but they don't realize that simple writing is just as effective, if not more. The reader shouldn't have to search for the meaning. That's just stupid. Are you saying that like the meaning should come to the reader or something? Besides, the simpler the writing, the more emphasis on wordplay. Like how I made most of my lines start with some. Yeah, I noticed that. Made the last couplets seem more powerful. Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. Well, good job then. Ha! Didn't expect that from the youngest of the club, did ya? Yeah, guess not. Are you really the youngest? Because are you sure you're not just shortest? And last one, Yuri. Hi. Sorry, my voice still cracks even though I'm 18. Yuri scans my poem with her eyes with a blank expression on her face. So how was it? Sorry, I suppose as far as poetry goes, this isn't bad, but I'm not immensely impressed by it. Yuri turns away shamefully. I didn't mean for that to sound so blunt. Don't worry about it. I didn't take it that way. What makes you think that? Yuri stares at my poem with awkward silence between us. Minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Is everything okay? Oh goodness, sorry. I know what I want to convey, but I need to find the right words. I understand. Take your time. Okay, I think I know what I want to say. Do you have any prior writing experience? To be honest, not really. Is it that obvious? No, I don't mean to be rude, but I guessed that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri breathes her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice. It's been several minutes, and we haven't gotten anywhere. Yuri seems to be incredibly introverted. It must take her a long time to warm up to new people. Don't worry about it. We'll all start somewhere. What were you saying? Right, I just noticed a few qualities consistent with newer writers that showed up in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you tried very hard to make the structure of the poem your own. And that's okay, but if this is the first poem you've written, it might be prudent to consider more traditional structures, couplets, sonnets, haiku, and the like. If you're not confident in the writing style, it'll show in your piece. It's like Yuri's a different person once she gets going. She sounds incredibly confident and stands tall, speaking clearly. Again, that's not your fault. I think that once you studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition. I appreciate your feedback, Yuri. It sounds like you're well versed in this sort of thing. Would it be okay if I took a look at what you've written? Oh goodness, of course. Please let me know what you think. I'd be thrilled to explain my process. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, this isn't supposed to be a literature club. Tumble. Hail falls like discarded dust of overused emotions, dragging down blankets made of want? Want? Is that it? Slender string pierces my eyelids, barely painful, and pulls them shut. Ever so heavy. This handwriting is really hard to read. I think I misplaced something. Is there a piece missing? You need all the pieces to fix something. Please don't look for it. There are more important things for you to do today. What? Did something happen to you? I'm sorry if my writing's a bit ineligible. Once my pen touches the page, I just want to get my thoughts down. Apparently you can do it in handwriting that I can't read. It's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. I wasn't thinking of that at all. Are you sure? It seemed to take you a while to read it. Well, I guess I don't see cursive often. Yeah, I never do. But it's really nice when I do. Your writing's actually quite pretty. Is that so? I'm glad you think so. It made your poem stand out even more as well. It's as though your handwriting fits your word choice, or vice versa. It wasn't so short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since this is the first time we're sharing, I thought it would be easier to share. That makes sense. You might tell me what it's about, though? I'm not sure I understand. Sorry, I didn't mean to write something confusing. Oh, it's not that. I just wanted to be sure I'm reading it properly. I want to make sure the hair's out of my face. I see. I suppose from a cursory glance, it might not be obvious. But part of what makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. While on the surface it might seem a bit out there, if you're looking a little deeper, you might be able to find deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines, compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem are meant to be taken at face value. In actuality, it's supposed to represent the last remnants of something lost in the past, in the sense of plaintive, longing that comes with it. Huh? That's pretty impressive when you put it that way. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but thanks for the compliments. Hopefully during your time here, your understanding of poetry will grow and these things will come to you naturally. Okay, hold on. What doesn't come naturally is my hair falling on my face. I'll do my best. Thank you for sharing it with me, Yuri. Of course. Alright. Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. It was surprisingly fun, albeit a bit stressful. I already knew that I wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. Everyone here is incredibly talented. Neat. Well, all the girls at least. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their representative poem. As I watch, Natsuki breezes Yuri's poems, her eyes skipping over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the paper in her hand, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back. Here, I'm done. Already? Yeah, it's not like it was super hard to read. I'm not illiterate, you know. Huh? It was hard. It was hard for me to understand, at least. I just want to make sure that you caught all the figurative language that I employed. Yeah, I did. It was fancy. Thanks. However, I believe that you'd enjoy it more if you looked deeper into it. I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyway, are you finished with my poem then? Yes, yours is cute. Cute? Didn't you learn anything from our conversation yesterday? What, calling you cute? Yuri looked shocked, regret seeping into her expression. Seems like both girls still hold their own prejudices, despite whatever common ground they have. How can it be cute? You're standing there like thinking that I haven't read your poem, when it's really you who hasn't read my poem. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Well, maybe you should look deeper in my poem. Oh my god. Because I use this type of language on purpose. I see. But if I may give a suggestion, these more involved subject matters may be better suited to more complex detection. Wait, was it direction? Diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with, look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. Writing in this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. If you write with a thesaurus open next to you, you're just going to alienate everyone. Using all these big words just to make up for lack of depth. Poetry isn't about impressing people, so you just stop? Holy crap. I stare wide-eyed at Monica and Sayori, who now have also fallen silent. They stare back at me, looking unsure of what to do. I'm guessing that they don't usually have many arguments in the club. Although tensions between Natsuki and Monica already seem kind of high. Lack of depth? Oh, I missed that. Yeah, that's right. So if I can give you suggestions now, excuse me? I appreciate the offer, but I must really ask, what makes you believe that I'll accept your advice after you being so rude to me? This music is... rude? That's just blunt. That was just blunt honesty. Do you ever consider that other people don't hold the same opinions as you? Uh-oh. What are you trying to say? Do I really need to spell it out for you? Yeah, you do. I want to see if you're really going there. The irony. I dare you to say it. Yuri gives a small laugh of disbelief. I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. It's actually given me the courage to speak up with you. Is that why you're angry all the time? Guys, we shouldn't... This doesn't involve you! Sayori, please don't rob me in my moment. Uh-oh. So this is your moment to shine or something. Strange thing to take pride in, don't you think? No. It's my moment to finally speak my mind, while I still have the strength to. Yuri! Natsuki, have you ever realized how selfish you are? Yuri seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room. Well, what? Everything always needs to go your way. You always jump to conclusions and make rash decisions without regarding for the consequences. And it's never your fault, is it? You don't know me. No? You don't know me either. And yet you spoke as if you knew everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact you don't think that your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are. Wing! Seeing her moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word. I know it's difficult for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Sayori, Monica, even Alex. Don't you remember how hostile you were to Alex when you first joined us? I wasn't being hostile. We haven't even had a new member in a long time. Sorry, not sorry for not keeping on my toes. And that's how I talk to everyone, not just to Alex. Am I supposed to change my whole personality to cater to how you think I should be? If Alex has a problem with my jokes, he can tell me. You don't get to speak to him. Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst. Do you really expect a new member to be able to speak up so easily? Ouch. Not everyone is as unafraid of being a brutish cretin as you. What? The rest of us were so excited to have a new member, but did that thought ever cross your mind? No, you just let your own selfish thoughts dictate your behavior. Selfish? They weren't You could have scared him off. That might have been what you wanted, but how about the rest of us? I'll just explain for myself, for God's sakes. But as per usual, you aren't listening. You know, for someone who's been ranting on how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There, I used a big word. Do I sound like Shakespeare yet? Am I worthy of your attention now? Ouch, both girls really have their own claws out. Also, Monica and Sarah didn't have any issue with me yesterday. It's just you. Of course they did, Natsuki. They just didn't say anything. What is happening here? So much so I had to take a drink. Monica is too representable and Sayori is too kind. So why don't we ask Alex then? Don't bring me into this. Fine. Alex, who's right? Me or Yuri? How did I get jacked myself into this in the first place? I don't even know what they want me to decide on this point then. Should I just ignore all the personal stuff and just talk about their poetry? That's the start of the argument after all. But it's not like a good judge with writing quality, given that I'm just a beginner. I don't think it would be fair for me to take either side, especially since I'm new here. Maybe I should defer to one of the club's leaders. Of course there's going to be, Sayori! I hate being put on the spot. Both Yuri and Natsuki are looking at me. While their honest hostility isn't aimed at me, I feel like I'm the target for the anger in their eyes. Guys, I gulp nervously, and the bead of sweat trickles down my neck. I'm really not the best judge here. After all, I'm new, so I'm painfully aware of how weak my voice sounds. Neither girl looks impressed. Wow, it's real help you are. Natsuki, let me guess. Blah, blah, blah. You're being so rude. You're a broken record. Yuri, shut up. Oh, so you finally realize how intolerant you are. You got there in the end. Well done. Wing, you're such a bit. Stop! That's what I would have said in this moment. We're all stunned to silence. I've never heard Sayori angry before, and even Natsuki looks taken aback. Immediately, the anger on Sayori's face is replaced with a flood of tears. The anger is giving way to sadness. Guys, enough of this. Please. You're tearing apart this club. Please don't do this. I love this place so much, and you guys are both my friends. I hate it when people fight. It's horrible. This place means so much to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys as well. So please, can we stop arguing over whose style is better? It doesn't even matter. You're both unique, and that's what counts. Yuri and Natsuki are both looking incredibly ashamed for themselves. You better for dragging me into this. I guess neither of them expected that their argument would hurt Sayori so much. That once raging fire had been stuffed out, replaced with smoldering embers. I really like your simple style, Natsuki. It's so nice to sit down and read a poem that springs to life. And I know the others do as well. Monica and I nod in earnest, putting a small smile on Natsuki's face. And Yuri, I'm amazed at how complex and deep your poems are. They're really in-depth. But there's no need to argue over which style is better. You can't really compare them anyways. It depends on what mood you're in. She's right, guys. Sometimes you're just in the mood for something simple. Sometimes you might want something a bit more complex. It's like music or movies. People have a variety of things. You can't really say that comedy as a genre is better than action, can you? Both types appeal to different things. You wouldn't watch an action movie for the laughs, would you? I look over at Sayori and give her a reassuring smile. She returns with a watery smile on her own, rubbing the tears away. You said it, Alex. She turns her face Natsuki and Yuri once more. Now, you both said some stuff that was pretty mean, but I know neither of you meant it. Neither of you are narrow-minded. Although it would be nice to come if you could like each other's stuff a bit more. So could you try to do that a little? Please, for me, for the club? I can't help but laugh as she puts on puppy dog eyes. I don't think she realizes the right time to use them. Sure, whatever, I'll try. Jesus, Natsuki. Yuri takes a deep breath, finally lifting her eyes off the floor. You're right, Sayori. I'll also make more of an effort. And Natsuki, what? Natsuki still looks quite defiant, as though expecting another insult from Yuri. I apologize for what I said. Your style has its own merits. Natsuki blinks as though slapped in the face. She clearly wasn't expecting an apology. Meh, it's fun. Meh! Don't worry about it, your style is. She diverts her eyes downward once more. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're right pretty well. I shouldn't have said that stuff. Me neither. There's an awkward silence. That's much better, guys. Thank you for putting your differences aside. We're all really appreciated. I'll go and make some tea. He rushes off as Natsuki wanders over to the closet. I glance over at Monica. She hasn't said a word throughout the whole argument, which surprised me. I should have been the one who said all of that. Why didn't you then? I winced at the words leave my mouth. They sounded more accused than I would have liked. Well, I know I'm the leader and I run this club, but I'm not the greatest with people. I frown. If she isn't great with people, how can she run a club? Good point. She must have caught the confusion on my face as she hastened to explain. Sorry, let me phrase that. I'm fine with people. It's just their drama I can't really deal with. Well, that's why you have Sayori, right? She's an excellent vice president, able to deal with conflict much better than I can. Which is pretty embarrassing for me, at least. That should have been my duty to deal with not hers. I don't blame you, seriously. It was pretty tough to get involved. I could barely speak up. True, but that's exactly the sort of thing that a president should be able to deal with. Nah, come on, Monica. Don't see it like that. You and Sayori just have different strengths, that's all. I always thought of her as a little ditzy sometimes, but she definitely has a knack for social situations. Definitely, I'm just grateful to have her as my vice president. Well, the both of you do a really good job running this place. I know that's a bit of an early assessment. But you know, first impressions and all. She smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. You're too kind, Alex. I'm glad Sayori brought you along to the club. I really do hope you stick around. Don't worry, I will. Monica seems like such a genuine person, and she makes a great president, regardless of what she might think. Hopefully I'll be able to properly get to know her during the school year. Oof. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing your poetry? I noticed that she carefully avoids mentioning the argument that just occurred. Better that you don't mention that. It was a lot of fun. Some moments were all worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Jeez, Natsuki, how cold are you? Alex, how about you? I actually really enjoyed myself. It seems I do like expressing myself through poetry a lot more than I initially thought. Everyone looks intently at me, the girls smiling at me. It was really cool getting to see everyone's face, everyone's different writing styles. That's awesome! And that's the case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And hopefully you learn something from us too, so your poems will turn out even better. So your poems don't turn out like they did today. I'm kidding. Yeah. I think to myself a bit as I begin to pack up. Today I managed to learn a little more about the kinds of poems that everyone likes. With any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals throughout their themes and messages. Now to myself, turning to Sayori. Hey Sayori, ready to walk home? Sure! Okay, see you tomorrow then. As we leave the club room, Sayori turns back to wait to the girls. I do the same. Natsuki smiles and quickly looks to act like she doesn't care. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods, and as expected from the school idol, Monica gives a friendly grin and waves back. Bye! Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki, I remember you told me yesterday that they have sometimes bicker, but all their arguments normally that bad? I feel a little guilty to ask her, as I know she doesn't like talking about conflict. There's a slight dip in the cheeriness of her voice as she replies, "No, not at all. They have the differences, but it's the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. They're both wonderful people, I promise. You don't hate them or anything, do you?" "Oh, not at all. It's only normal for people to argue, I guess. I was just curious after all. After all, you know them better than I do." Sayori lets out a relieved sigh. "You know, Alex, it's been so nice seeing you again. I didn't really think we'd get to spend much time with one another again." "Yeah, tell me about it. It's been really fun hanging out again. I don't really know when we started drifting or why. Guess it was just life coming between us." She nods, looking a little reflective. "Still, I'm glad you let me join the club. I'm not going to lie, at first I was a bit doubtful when you told me that it was about literature, but hey, I guess it just goes to show that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover." She giggles, and I frown. Did I say something funny? Nice pun. Did you even realize? Huh? Pun? Ah, you mean book comment. Oh, and this is a literature club. Jeez, looks like this club's really starting to rub off me, isn't it? Sayori might be known as a bit of an airhead, but sometimes she can get really notice things that others don't. I wonder if it's what it's really like inside her head. Probably more full than my head. My head is empty. I'm kidding. Oh, you haven't changed at all, Alex. You always knew how to make me laugh. Blush slightly. I've never really known how to react to the compliment, especially when it comes from someone of the opposite sex. I'm glad I'm still able to do that. Haha. I'll be honest though, I didn't think I'd make so many new friends by joining the club. Well, they're a really nice bunch. I'm not surprised. Yeah, a pretty warm welcome. She nods contently. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. These girls are all interesting characters, aren't they? Different personalities and a variety of writing styles. Yet they're all united under the same club. I briefly wonder how Monica found all of them. In just 2 days, I feel like I've made progress with each member. Getting to know Yuri and Natsuki, actually getting to talk to Monica a little bit, and of course reuniting with an old friend. And I would have guessed that this would all come from joining the club, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just hope my writing improves over time so I can write poems to a standard more like theirs. Probably not, though. Speaking of which, there's work to be done tonight. Let's do this. Another transition cutscene, I guess. It's interesting to see a little Monica down there, because I don't remember that being the original without the mod. Yeah, I've realized my mistake. Like, when I say the original game, I keep thinking this game is like a sequel or something. Let's see. So we had one right for Sayori. Like, we had chose a lot of words for Sayori. Let's go with Natsuki next. Let's try and get relationship, or let's better know her. Rose. So Sayori. Flower. Determination. Clumsy. Boop. Intellectual. Anime. Amazing. Fantasy. Yeah. Charm. Okay. Kawaii. Lust. Okay. Sweet. Sparkle. Okay. Oh, whoops. After image. Hair. Misfortune. Disaster. Smile. Okay, I think I wrote another one for Sayori. Just a few days ago, I never would have thought I'd look forward to an extracurricular so much, but here I am back for another club meeting and anticipating new antics from everybody. Usual scene awaits me in the steps of the club room. Hi, Alex. Hey, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to being in the club, that's all. Is that so? Well, it's nice to see you so cheery. Anyway, what's new? Oh, I got some exciting news. And what's up? Did you know that the student store sells the brand new strawberry milk now? I saw when I passed by on the way here. I should have known then to better expect actual news from Sayori. Huh? I don't think I've tried it yet. I don't know. Strawberry milk is usually too sweet for me. What? But it's great with melon bread. Wait, what? Sir, you can eat a packet of raw sugar and you still say it's not sweet enough. Hey, that's an exaggeration. Seriously though, it goes well with bread. The milk is sweet, but it still has that unique tart strawberry flavor that eased by the richness of the milk. And when you pair that with fresh bread, the sweetness is spread out even more so that it has just the right amount of flavor. Wow, when did you become Gordon? When did you become Gordon Ramsay? Oh my goodness. Ha, I'm a food expert, so you should trust me on this. Is it supposed to be like Japanese such? I thought Gordon Ramsay was more like an American food critic or something. I don't know. I don't watch him. I mean, given how many snacks you eat every day, I don't doubt that you know your food well. I'm gonna take that as a compliment, you meanie. So, I'm a meanie for giving her a compliment. Anyway, aren't you hungry now? Talking about food always makes me hungry. Now that you mention it, maybe a little. Great, let's go to the student store and buy a snack together. Now I see what she's playing at. I raise an eyebrow and Sayori notices. Alex, why are you looking at me like that? Trying to get the angle right from the face cam. Well, Sayori, I have a nagging suspicion that you're only trying to convince me to come because you don't have any money. And you just want me to buy you a snack. What? I would never do that. Oh, really? Then let me see your purse. Huh? Your purse. Let's see it. Sayori laughs awkwardly. She pulls out her purse. She opens it and dumps the contents onto the desk. 2 small coins fall out. Tisk, tisk, tisk. This little ruse might have actually worked had Sayori not pulled it on me numerous times when we were younger. The amount of times she managed to trick me into buying her another ice cream. I guess some things never change. Nice try, Sayori. Not fair. How did you know? No. Wouldn't you like to know? Let's call it intuition. In response, she sticks her tongue out at me, typical. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice she was eavesdropping. Looking over in her direction, I catch her peeking at the top of the book. I wasn't listening or anything. It's just something in my book. Yuri! Tell Alex to let me borrow some money. That's none of my business, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. It's shameful to manipulate people into buying things for you. Wow, isn't that a little harsh? I'm only messing around with Sayori after all. I didn't mean that. That came out much harsher than I intended. Sorry, Yuri blushes in embarrassment, looking away from us while playing us with a strand of her hair. I apologize for how I've been acting lately. It looks like she still might be ashamed of how she acted yesterday. You know, it's okay to be honest sometimes. You shouldn't always keep things that bother you to yourself. There's no way you could think that after. You were right though. I shouldn't trick people into buying me things. Funny how your 10-year-old self didn't see it that way. Yuri lets out a small laugh, covering her mouth with her hand. Even the way she laughs is so shy and proper. Is that mischievous behavior something you say or used to display as a child then? Oh yeah, although back then I felt for it, and time again, you wouldn't believe how much candy Sayori managed to con me out of. Whoa! Don't make me out to be so sneaky, Alex! All those candies were so good. I'm surprised, Sayori. Coming from you, I guess there's a little devil inside of all of us, isn't there? What's going on here? Oh, nothing's much. Sayori here was just up to some mischief. Oh? Yeah, she tried to trick me into buying her a snack. Hey, that's not true! Sayori smiles wryly and turns to me. I'm assuming this isn't the first time. Well, you'd be right. We all share a little chuckle at that. Well, everyone except Sayori does. Hey, you guys are being really mean. Okay, we're sorry, but you did bring this upon yourself. Yeah, I know. But in my defense, I am really hungry. Well, Natsuki chimes in. If you're really that hungry, you can have this if you want. She offers up a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori immediately snatches it out of her hands. Thank you! Why did you give that to her? Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it! Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good! Sayori suddenly clasps her hands to her mouth. I bit my tongue! Ha! You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki just takes a bite of her own cookie. Oh, yours look really good too. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah? Why do you think I gave that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki that wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off her. Sayori immediately reaches down to... Oh! I wish this could actually be like a little bit anime, because that'd be funny to see. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away safety. Yuri, Monica, and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori to quit taking my stuff? Sayori, you know you shouldn't do something like that without permission. Monica scolds Sayori. I know. I'm sorry, Natsuki. But it was so good! Weren't they like the same cookie? Hey! Everyone but Natsuki chuckles. These things happen a lot, Monica. A little bit too much to be honest. Now, don't worry, it's all in good fun. Good fun is teasing each other from time to time, not stealing food. Well, calm down. It's no big deal. Stop that. Natsuki pouts in her seat. Everyone calms down quickly and returns to their normal activities. Sayori has already managed to finish the entire cookie. Meanwhile, Natsuki gets up to head for the closet, and Yuri is already lost in her book. Alex! She suddenly comes up to me. We need to get some stuff for another classroom. Can you come with me? Stuff? What stuff? Oh! I guess this time I did write again for Sayori. Well, you know how the festival's right around the corner. Monica was gonna make some posters to advertise it. So we need to get some crayons and markers and glue sticks, that kind of stuff. Alright. Yeah, I'll come with you. Yay! We'll be back real soon, Monica. So you seem quite excited about the Sayori. Of course, it's so much fun exploring empty classrooms. Isn't that right, Alex? Monica laughs and nods at us. Okay, just don't forget the poster paper. I won't! Ready, Alex? Let's go. Sarah and I exit the club room. I fall behind and she hums and skips along the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm taking a kid to a mall or something. Isn't that just who Sayori's character is? Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things at times. Everything is like an adventure to her. Hey, Sayori! What exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of the literature. Monica and I have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. A performance? Oh no, I'm stage fright. Of what kind? Well, everyone is gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. That sounds, well, not exactly boring, but will people be interested in that? Alex, you're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems. I missed it again! It's about performing them. Like you say the lines of the poem, like, between my feet, the last remaining flows beckon to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from clinging roots, caress these final joyous moments between my fingers. But to what end have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Like that! Wow, Sayori, I had no idea you had that in you. I did not have that in me to try and read it how she would try and read it. Huh? What do you mean? I just never heard you talk like that before. No, it's not a bad thing. It was really good. It's just a bit contrast for your bubbly self. I'm sure Yuri and Monica would really appreciate it too. I've been working super hard on that poem. I think that's what I said. Yep. So it's good to know you liked it. I'm excited for the festival, not just because we get to eat loads of stuff like Natsuki said. Hey, meanie! No, not just because of that. Although that is part of it. Hey, Alex, this classroom here is empty. I think we'll find the stuff we need in here. Let's start our mission. What classroom? We're in a hallway. Strange choice of words for someone going into a classroom to get art supplies. I think that's Sayori in a nutshell. Giving her own little world. Her childlike enthusiasm is infectious and brings out a special feeling I forgot I had in me. Some kind of innocent sense of wonder where even the most mundane of tasks and quests of walking down the classroom is just a magical journey. Two of us enter the classroom, Sayori heads straight for the closet and I follow. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons! Say I pull out a box of crayons off the shelf. They're the best brand too. They're kind of dirty though. Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted, we still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Fine. Can you move over so that I can look for some post paper? I dropped them by accident. Smack. Yeah! Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right onto the shelf. Ouch! She falls on the floor and the crayon spills on the lap. Ow! Sayori, you okay? My forehead! Sayori clutches her forehead. What happened? Did you cut it? Is it bruised or... No, nothing like that. I think I just bumped it. Geez, Sayori, you really had me worried there for a second. I can't help but let out a chuckle. It's such a typical thing to happen to Sayori. It's almost like she got clumsy written across her forehead. Which, fittingly enough, is where she hurt herself. Hey, what are you laughing, you meanie? Sorry, I'm not laughing at you or anything. It's just, this is so typical of you. What's that meant to mean? Nothing. Let me see your forehead. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grabbed her by the waist and pulled her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori, but it hurts! Oh, wow. I'll be gentle, I promise, it won't hurt. That's a weird pose she's in. Sayori slowly released her hands from her forehead. I gently brushed the bangs to her side. Ow! Sorry. There's a huge red mark on her forehead, on the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Don't worry, it's not that bad, but it really hurts. Her whimpering triggers a really strong protective instinct I didn't know I had. Hey, I'll get you some ice. It'll keep the swelling down and it should relieve a bit of the pain. Just stay here, okay? I'll be back as soon as I can. Actually, where would I find some ice? Think, Alex, think. I got it. A cold drink should do the trick. Are you sure? You don't have to. I think I make a great unicorn. Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. I'm sure you make a great unicorn, but I prefer if you as a human. Aw, unicorns are so cool though. And I'll be right back, okay? Okay. I pat Sayori in the shoulder and I run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? Oh my god. Guess it doesn't matter because she won't be drinking it, but I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that one. Just a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom where I left Sayori. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop the crayons back into the box. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Here you go. I hand Sayori a bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, idiot. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. Immediately the laughter subsides, replacing a gasp by a guess of pain. It stings! I know, I'm sorry. It'll feel better soon, I promise. It looks like she cleaned up most of the crayons, so that's good. Hey, Alex. This kind of reminds me of growing up, doesn't it? Huh? What do you mean? You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. You were that kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fell behind and had some trouble climbing on the things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump. Well, that's sad. And I would start crying really hard, and you would rush over as quickly as you could. You'd try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it really wasn't your fault, you know. I remember those days. You were always so clumsy, and I guess not much has changed. Hey, I did deliberately, you know. I raised an eyebrow. I've always wanted to be a unicorn. That has to be perhaps the least believable excuse I've heard in a while. Okay, I guess I've never been on the graceful side. I did always feel bad whenever you got hurt when we played together. Looking back, I should have... I keep skipping. Looking back, I should have been more mindful of what you could and couldn't do. I guess it's the same here. If I hadn't rushed you out of the closet, you wouldn't have hurt yourself. My mother was right. She scolded me after you got hurt, always telling me I had to be more careful around you. Alex, don't feel so bad about it. It's my fault for being so clumsy. Besides, even if I got hurt, those times are still my favorite memories of us. It always made me realize how thoughtful you are. I wasn't thoughtful at all. I just got you hurt. No, that's not what I meant. You were always looking out for me. Even after all these years, you always rush to help me. No matter what the situation, you always there to reassure me and make me feel safe. I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. It's just around you. It feels natural, I guess. I just do it subconsciously before I even know it. I'm treating you like that. I guess it's what happened when you've been friends for so long. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I'm really grateful we're friends, Alex. I'll admit I kind of messed up over the years. We used to hang out a lot. I was surprised when you approached me the other day. I wasn't really sure what to make of it all at first. But as we got to hang out at the club, share poems, and walk home, I realized that nothing has really changed. Do you really think we'll be like this forever, Alex? As much as I want to say yes, there's no telling how life will be before, during college, or even afterwards. Still, it can be positive, though. I'm sure hope so, Sayori. It's been this for so long already, right? I can't imagine you've been changing, so my hopes are up. We haven't had talks in years, then when we do, it's just like nothing really changed. I think I read somewhere that a sign of a friendship that's built to last. So there's hoping. I hope so too. I'm so happy. Sayori had a whimsical expression in her face. We remained silent for a moment. Who'd have guessed that such a simple action to get some crayons would have resulted in such a heartfelt moment? Then again, Sayori is impossible to tell. Anyway, I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know. Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Sayori hops up to her feet. Ah! She clutches her forehead again. Sayori, don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself. Oh, sorry. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori. And you forgot everything else. Literally forgot everything else. She's playing with her bangs, trying to hide a bump, but without much success. In a moment, we're back in the club room. Ah, you're back. Good timing. I was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. Hey, Sayori, your forehead. I was playing with crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf. Are you okay, Sayori? Yeah, I'm fine. Awkward silence there. Alex got me a nice cold drink. Right, okay, glad you're okay, Sayori. Did you get everything we needed? I have it right. Ah! Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all the stuff. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper, too. Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Alex. Ah, well, Sayori, I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made it an adventure. Yeah, that. Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Thanks, you two. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to show your poems? Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon is box closed tightly, I return to my seat. Okay. Everyone else might be ready to share poems, but I'm not. I'm gonna go and call this episode here. I'm just turning that down so I'm not talking over it as usual. Well, it was roughly the same as like the last episode and whatnot. I mean, the first episode we got introduced to all the characters and whatnot. Shared our poems and had another adventure, I guess, with Sayori. I'm kind of interested now to see where it will go. If like I keep making like these poems like just with Sayori, like I keep choosing words just for Sayori, because like I know what's going to happen, like in the context of the old game and whatnot, or just without the mod pack. Like something happens to Sayori, which I'm sure we all know because the game has not been out for like that long and such. I know what's going to happen to her. If I keep making these things, like spending a lot of time with Sayori, then maybe that'll like be avoided or something. But that's all for something in the future. For now, I'll calling it here. If you guys did like this video and you want to see some more Doki Blue Skies or just videos in general, make sure you stab that like button and make sure to leave a comment down below about what you want to see next, or use the hashtag MSVPlaylist on Twitter as well, because I always take your guys' suggestions. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. That way you know when I post a new video, whether it's one another of these games or your guys' suggestions, whatever it is. But that's gonna go and do it. My name is Luke, and say it with me. Stay strong and feel the power. See ya! Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button so you stay tuned for future videos. If you want to check out my previous video, click the box to the left. If you want to check out my last video, click the box to the right. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!